Hola y bienvenidos a todos. Hi and welcome everyone to a Speech Bubble Languages Spanish session with me, Louise from Speech Bubble HQ. Today's session is suitable for intermediate or upper intermediate learners of the Spanish language. We're heading off to El Mercado, heading off to the marketplace and learning all about how to use demonstrative pronouns in Spanish. They can be a wee bit footery on occasion, so it's great that we have today's session to help you get used to using them and to learn the rules around demonstrative pronouns, los pronombres demonstrativos. Vamos a empezar. Let's get started, shall we? So the first thing that we're going to do when we head off to El Mercado is to test some of your prior learning. On the screen, you'll see lots of images of different fruta y verdura, and it's your job to hit the pause button just now and work your way through each of these images and recalling the Spanish words for those items. If you find this too hard, you've started it, then this lesson might be too tricky for you today. But if you're good to go, hit that pause button and work your way through, making a note in Spanish of all the different items of fruit and veg. Get that spelling accurate for me. And it would be lovely as well if you could make sure that you get your article right in front of it as well. So that word for a, an, or some. Hit pause here, and I'll see you back in a moment. So do you remember your fruit and veg, everybody? So letter A up on the other side are cherries. In Spanish, unas cerezas. Unas cerezas. Letter B, una manzana. Una manzana. Letter C, unas fresas. Unas fresas. Over to letter D, we have, in this case, un limón or unos limones. E, just like the color, una naranja. F, un plátano, accent up on that A, plátano. Letter G, unas uvas, unas uvas. H, we have lima, so we have una lima or unas limas. There's a few others in the background there, so we could say some limes, couldn't we? Letter I is una piña, with J being un melocotón. Nice accent along the end there, isn't it? Melocotón. Down to the bottom left-hand corner, now we go. Letter K, we have unas cebollas, with L being una lechuga. M, la M, letter M, unos pimientos, with N, letter N, being unas judías verdes. O takes us to unos guisantes, and finally, one of my favorite wee words in Spanish is cauliflower. Cauliflower at the end. I hope you managed to get each of those ones correct. So what exactly are pronombres demonstrativos? What exactly are demonstrative pronouns? Sounds very fancy, doesn't it? Now, I want you to imagine you're standing in front of this stall in a marketplace, un mercado en España, and you can see you've got some fruits and veg down there towards the front, don't you? And then they've got some tomatoes, peppers, and stuff in the middle. And then away up into the back of that stall, you can see other items of fruit and veg. You've got some cauliflowers, even a pumpkin up in that back corner. Now, pronombres demonstrativos or demonstrative pronouns are the words that we would use in English for this or that or these or those. So if I were to approach this market stall, for example, in England, our English-speaking country, I would say, could I have some of these apples? I'll take some of those tomatoes. I'll take that pumpkin up the back there, and I'd like one of those cauliflowers over there. And you see how the words change, this, that, these, and those, depending on whether we're talking about more than one thing that I'm pointing out or where they are in proximity to me. So we would say this apple, this pear, or those bananas, those pineapples, if they're further away. Now, these words exist in Spanish too, these pronombres demonstrativos, and that's what we're going to explore today. So I hope you've got that right in your head. What is it that we're talking about here? It's the words for this, that, these, and those. So here's an example of a couple of them in action based on my little picture here. So you see towards the front there, we've got some really lovely looking tomatoes, don't we? So to say these tomatoes, we would say estos tomates, these tomatoes. Can you see my peppers? I've got some green ones, red ones, yellow ones. They're looking cracking too, aren't they? So I'm pointing over to those peppers. And in Spanish, I would say esos pimientos. Esos pimientos, those peppers. estos tomates, these tomatoes. Now, right up at the back there, you can see there are some cauliflowers hiding up the back there too. And in this, I would say aquellos cauliflores, those way over there in the back. So we're going to take a look at what exactly it is that's going on with these demonstrative pronouns. As you can expect in Spanish, if you have been learning for a wee while, there will be a couple of alternatives here that we'll need to choose from. So these are the words this, that, these, and those. As you've spotted in the previous screen, they must come before the noun that they're describing. And yeah, they're going to have to agree with the nouns that they're talking about too. So let's take this nice and slowly and do lots of repetition so you can get this clear in your head. So we're going to start way over on the left-hand side of my screen here. You'll see that we're going to now learn the words in Spanish for this, nice and close to me, that, a little bit further away, and that, but over there, further away again. This, that over there. This, that, and that over there. If you're talking about an item that is a masculine noun and that there is only one item for that we're referring to in this particular case. So let's think. Banana, plátano, plátano. If it was this banana you wanted, in Spanish, you would say este plátano. Este plátano. It's right here, probably in my hands. Este plátano. This banana. Este plátano. But that banana, that one maybe looks better. Ese plátano. But maybe there's one away through the back there. You might look on better. That banana over there. Aquel plátano. Aquel plátano. The one that's further away. Este, ese. Este, ese. Este, ese. Aquel. Este plátano. Este plátano. Aquel plátano. So far, so good. So what's going to happen now? We're not getting bananas now. Not one banana. We're after something now that is feminine. So an item in Spanish that's feminine. Don't fancy banana. Want an apple this time. How do we say apple? It's manzana, isn't it? Manzana. This apple. Esta manzana. Esta manzana. That apple. Esa manzana. Esa manzana. That apple that's a wee bit over there. Aquella manzana. Aquella manzana. Esta, esa, esta, esa. Esta, esa, aquella. So far, so good. Really well done. So the words for this in Spanish are either este or esta. And with that, we have a couple of options, depending on how far away they are. That, if it's a little bit closer, ese or esa. And if it's much further away, aquel o aquella. Now we're going to come a little bit further across on my screen. And we're going to take a look at those words once again, but this time we're talking about something that's plural. In English, we would say these onions, these potatoes, those bananas, and those cauliflowers. So we in English go from this to these or that to those. So what do these words look like in Spanish? This time we're after something that is masculine and is plural. What about some onions? Cebollas, cebollas. Now, if the onions I'm looking for at the marketplace are nice and close to me and I'm pointing right at them here, I would say estos ceboy. Oh no, they're cebollas. They're feminine. What am I talking about? Let's go back to our bananas, but we want more than one. Estos plátanos. These bananas. Estos plátanos. Those bananas. Esos plátanos. Esos plátanos. Some that are further away. Aquellos plátanos. Aquellos plátanos. Estos, esos. Estos, esos. Estos, esos. Aquellos. Estos, esos, y aquellos. Should we get our onions this time? Yeah. Cebollas. Items at the market that are feminine and plural. How is it going to change? These onions. Estas cebollas. Those onions. Esos cebollas. Esas cebollas. And away over into the distance, aquellas cebollas. Aquellas cebollas. Estas cebollas. Esas cebollas. Aquellas cebollas. Estas, esas, estas, esas, estas, esas, aquellas. These, those, and those over there. Now I've introduced you to all of our pronombres demostrativos in Spanish, and there's a lot, aren't there? We're going to practice them one more time to make sure that we can pronounce them perfectly too. This, that, this, that, this, that, and that over there. Try the Spanish. Este, ese, este, ese, este, ese, aquel. Esta, esa, esta, esa, esta, esa, aquella. And our plural options, these and those, these and those, these and those, and those over there. Estos, esos, estos, esos, estos, esos, aquellos. And the feminine, estas, esas, estas, esas, estas, esas, aquellas. It's your job to try to memorize those little patterns, but let's put them into practice, shall we? Let's try a little writing task. Here we are at that marketplace that I was talking to you about. We've got some boxes down the front. We've got some peaches, apples, some grapes and carrots in there. When the box is a little bit further away, I've got some strawberries, pears, that looks like some green beans and some mushrooms as well. And right up at the back up there, we've got some oranges, melons, onions, and some tomatoes too. It's your job for me now to write each of these items in the plural, because there's loads of them, aren't there? But choosing the right demonstrative pronoun for each of them. So, for example, right down in the bottom corner there for letter C, these are our peaches, aren't they? So we would say, estos melocotones, because they're right close to us. Whereas our tomatoes, are we up in that back corner? We would say, aquellos tomates. Can you choose the right demonstrative pronoun and get the right fruit or veg, making them plural all the way? Hit that pause button here as you try that written task. Okay, so hopefully you've chosen estos or esas, esos and esas, or aquellos y aquellas. There's our answers popped up on the screen. I'm going to move myself out of the road for you so you can take a moment to check how well you did. Try to pronounce them after me. Aquellas naranjas, esas fresas, estos melocotones, aquellos melones, esas peras, estas manzanas, aquellas cebollas, esas judías verdes, estas uvas. And in our final column here, we have aquellos tomates, esos champiñones, and finally, estas zanahorias. Todo bien? All good? I hope you did well. So our final challenge working with our pronombres demostrativos is a little reading, listening task. Lee y escucha el diálogo en las tiendas. ¿Qué compran el cliente? Y completa el diálogo con los pronombres correspondientes. So what do our clients, our customers buy? So at the shop that we have, somebody is on the hunt for something quite nice, but having a bit of trouble indicating to the dependiente exactly which one it is that they're after. Follow the dialogue down and see if you can pick up the 3 missing demonstrative pronouns in Spanish. Here's your audio now. Remember, you've got control over it on your end, so you can stop, rewind, and record as often as you need.
Buenos días. ¿Le atienden?
No. ¿Puede enseñarme un monedero que hay en el escaparate, por favor?
Por supuesto, señorita. Vamos a ver. ¿Es este?
No, aquel, el negro.
¿Ese de ahí?
No, el grande no. Quiero el pequeño, el que está detrás del grande.
Ah, sí. Espere. Ahora lo saco.
¿Podría envolverlo para regalo?
Sí, claro.
Bien. I hope you did well with this little discussion. I moved myself down here a little bit so you can see our text better. So, if you managed to get that dialogue correct, vamos a ver es este, no aquel, el negro, y ese de allí are your missing gaps. I hope you listened to that really well and caught all those missing gaps correctly. Why not hit the pause button here and work your way through a translation of that dialogue too? That's us come to the end of our mini lesson today. I hope you enjoyed our session. Y hasta la próxima todos. Until next time, everyone. Muchísimas gracias. Y adiós. Bye, everyone.